Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, how is everybody today, guys? It's a beautiful Saturday, a little chilly, a little windy, but I had a beautiful day. I was doing moving some kitchen cabinets for a kitchen remodel that we're doing. So I brought my buddy Jimmy in to help. I was able to help him out, make some money after he had a slow week, so I felt good about that. Slept in until 9. Felt really good about that. But more importantly, I went and met with my sponsor today. I had a nice hour and a half sit down with my sponsor, talk about recovery, showed him the YouTube channel, working on my step work, and just just going over what recovery means. And it's amazing, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. The gifts of recovery are endless. Now, I mean, we get in there and with the promises of the program, our freedom from active addiction, right? And in and of itself, that's more than enough. But when you work a program, when you work these steps in your life, like the gifts are unbelievable. If you start to apply that in all areas of your life, and like anything else, guys, everything we do is contingent. The work you put in determines the level of reward you're going to get out of it. So give yourself over to the program. It took me many, many decades to finally figure this out, but once I did, I started living in the solution, and it is so much better. It doesn't mean I don't deal with stress. I get pulled in a lot of directions. I get a lot of demands on me, but the programs taught me to say no, taught me to be more efficient. It taught me to use my inventory, to see what I'm doing that I like, what I'm doing that I don't, to see the difference between good and bad, and it's been incredibly important. Now, as I've been doing this for a while, and starting to invite beautiful relationships into my life. And again, I got to be careful with those. There's a lot of danger in that. But working the program is leading me in the direction I need to. And inventory is one. It's funny. It's one of the things my sponsor and I were talking about. And the reading's titled Relationships, but it's really about inventory. So we're going to get into the reading, and we'll go from there. Okay. So this is the Just for Today NA meditation reading. Relationships. Also, our inventories usually include material on relationships. What an understatement this is. Especially in later recovery, entire inventories may focus on our relationships with others. Our lives have been filled with relationships with lovers, friends, parents, co-workers, children, and others with whom we come into contact. A look at these associations can tell us a lot about our essential character. Often, our inventories catalog the resentments that arise from our day-to-day interactions with others. We strive to look at our part in these frictions. Are we placing unrealistic expectations on other people? Do we impose our standards on others? Are we sometimes downright intolerant? Often, just the writing of our inventory will release some of the pressure that a troubled relationship can produce. But we must also share this inventory with another human being. That way we get some much needed perspective on our part in the problem and how we can work towards a solution. The inventory is a tool that allows us to begin healing our relationships. We learn that today, with the help of an inventory, we can start to enjoy our relationships with others. And the affirmation is just for today. I will inventory the part I play in my relationships. I will seek to play a richer, more responsible part in those relationships. And guys, that's a beautiful thing, right? That's one of the, and I love how these readings coincide with so much what's going on in my life. Like the idea of meeting with my sponsor, building a relationship with him, understanding that I'm doing this work to not only benefit myself, but that way I can help other people to benefit themselves. And then boom, we get a reading on relationships, and it's something I've been and I'm glad I waited as long as I did. In the past, I'd be so arrogant and so ego-filled that I want to rush out and build all these relationships before I was capable of holding them, and before I was emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent enough to handle these things. And then all of a sudden, so I'd want to play the hero in everybody's life, and then all of a sudden it'd get to be too overwhelming for me, and I'd shut down, and I'd go out and use drugs, or do something stupid, or, just get in over my head and not have the wherewithal to say no. And so in the beginning, I understood this, so I cut out all the relationships, but other than those in my direct recovery network, doctors, therapists, recovery, fellows in the recovery programs, the meetings, and my direct family. And that was beautiful because all of a sudden I surrounded myself with nothing but positive relationships. And then as I started to step back into my world, it made it much easier for me, with that and with the help of writing and journaling, to see what relationships in my life were actually what they were really doing. And it was a lot of people that were just taking from me, and I was surrounding myself with people that I felt that I could do something for, because that would made me feel good and gave me a sense of purpose, and that's just lopsided and ridiculous. Today I focus on recovery because that's my passion, that's my necessity, that's my life, that's my journey, that's my message. It's what matters to me. It's my purpose, like I said. So I surround myself with those in recovery, but it's not everybody just like me, and that's the beauty of it, guys. I'm able to get to know people with varying personalities today and build relationships with those people because I have the confidence to know that I have something to offer. I have every right to be there, and I bring something to the table, just like every one of them. I don't look at anybody that comes in. Just because somebody comes in and they're just coming off the street and I've been clean for 14 months, it doesn't make me any better than them. I just have some experience to guide them. And then they have something to remind me of where I've come from. And then, because they won't have to focus on that, guys, I'm able to honestly share their victories with them, share their triumphs with them, share their wins, and then share my experience. And then when they see how well I'm doing today, and then they hear my story and realize that I was just like them, that fills them with hope. And I've heard this many times. One of the things that makes me proud is when I speak at a meeting and somebody says afterwards, like, oh my God, I didn't think you had any kind of history like me because you're doing so well. That gives me so much hope that maybe I can get to where you are someday. Guys, I don't think I've ever heard anything that's made me so full of joy and pride. And again, this is a humble program. It doesn't mean you can't be proud of the work you're doing. It just means you don't walk around thinking that because you're getting material things back in your life that you're the man and you got this, or you're the woman and you're better than anybody else, because we're not. We're all people suffering from the disease of addiction, and that's another important thing that I've come to learn. I've come to learn that even though I was doing terrible things out there, and part of the reason I hated myself because there was good in me, and I could see that. I knew that there was good in me. There was that conflict of knowing who I was and what I was capable of, and then what I was actually doing, because I wasn't acknowledging my problems and I wasn't doing anything to change them, to curb my behaviors. And that's an internal conflict that's a battle I'll never win so long as I'm still doing the bad things. So I got into recovery. For once in my life, I became willing to do the work, and that's one of the most important things, guys. This time around, I didn't come in picking and choosing what I was willing to do. No, I was willing to do anything. And when they said that, and I meant it, I knew I was on the right track, because for once it wasn't like, well, I'll go to a halfway house because I don't have a place to live, or I'll go to meetings because they're making me. No, I'll do whatever it takes. God, whatever you put in front of me, I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the best of my ability. That's how I knew. I had the gift of desperation. I had the willingness to do the work to get better. And it's all it takes, guys, or at least it's a good first start. There's a lot of work comes into it, but with those attributes, we are well on our way. Then I started getting the confidence of believing in myself because I was doing good things, seeing good within myself, seeing that I was able to identify. And half of it is just taking the time to look. Every one of us can figure out and identify our triggers and what brought us to where we were if we stop and do the work. But you've got to be intentional. You've got to be introspective. Journal. And I'm not saying you have to take it. You've got, those are qualities you need to do if you want to change things. You don't have to follow my program, but find a program. For me, free writing, journaling, taking an inventory, admitting I was powerless, inviting my higher power, God, into my life. These were the things that have made the biggest changes. They're the things that put me on the fast track. Then the more I've leaned into my program, the more I've tried to be a better person and just learn to do the right thing. First of all, I had to identify what was the right thing, which meant no longer reacting to my first instinct, but stopping, learning. This is one of the most important things I've been able to adopt, and I used to laugh at it when I was unable to do it. Learning to stop and think before I reacted. I still catch myself saying something before I think, but I'll stop mid-sentence like, wow, there's an old behavior coming in, and I'll make light of it. But then I'll also follow up with what's real. And I've trained myself to do this over 14 months, and then suddenly I'm in a position at only 14 or almost 15 months into my recovery that I'm going through the steps of my sponsors so that I can start to sponsor other people because I'm working a program that is bringing rich beauty and success into my life that other people see, and I got people pulling at me saying, hey, can you sponsor me? And I love that. There's no greater there's nothing nicer somebody could say to me. You go greater compliment. No, I couldn't take a compliment for a second. Bear with me, guys. But I also see the responsibility that comes with that, and I couldn't in good faith take somebody on as a sponsee without having gone through the steps officially with somebody who I deeply respect, and I have my sponsor now. I don't think you mind using the phrase. Anyway, my sponsor is somebody I met almost 10 years ago. Amazing. He lives the program. He works the program. And he takes it very seriously. He's big on step work. He's big on responsibility. Big on the same things that I am. And to hear him tell me that he sees that in me today was beautiful, right? But again, doesn't fill my head and make me think I'm better than anybody. Just knows that I'm on the right I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right work, and it's being recognized. And then he said he accepted me as a sponsee even before he saw my program because he had heard of the work that I'm doing. So now I know I'm reaching other people even when I don't know that I am. And these are the things that happen when you give yourself over to the program. I didn't set out in this program to go reach other people. I set out to save my life. But because I'm doing it right and I realize it's a we program, not an I program, I've incorporated other people into it. I reach my hand out, I listen, I answer my phone, I talk authentically and honestly. I promote recovery, I promote kindness, I go out of my way to be kind to people, and when I see other people being kind, I reward that any way I can. And these are the ways that I promote recovery in my life, and other people see that everywhere I go. Never mind the fact that I put my redemption, my recovery out here live on video every day because, and the thing is, guys, I do this to help other people as a benefit, but I do this to save me because this has helped me to learn to hold myself accountable, to do something that I'm passionate about, that I want to succeed. And I can't get on here and do this if I'm not living it every day because I know it's only a matter of time. It would blow up in my face. I can't. I am a man of integrity today, and that's something I always wanted to be because it always mattered to me. But in addiction, I wasn't allowing myself to be. So I saw that, and again, I realized early on what's the difference between those who pass and who succeed and fail in recovery? Action, desire, willingness, and then the holding themselves accountable and actually taking the action, doing the work. So I promised myself I would put the effort into my recovery that I did into getting high every day. And I've done that for them. I mean, I'm sure I've fallen short here and there. I'm human. I'm always going to. And I try not to hold myself to an unrealistic standard, but I know I can do that because I was out there chasing the drugs like that every day for 35 years. So I try to do that to the best of my ability. I try to get up and be the best person I can every day. And I do that by starting off in prayer, asking God to help me be the best version of myself every day. So then when I leave my house and somebody cuts me off and I catch myself and says, no, was that a behavior I just asked to remind myself to bring out in myself? And when you do these things day in and day out, they start to change who you are. Or not even change who you are, they change your behaviors. But they bring you closer to who you are at heart. And in the end of the day, guys, unless you're a broken psychopath, sociopath, every one of us is good people with a disease that doesn't allow us to shine and be our best selves while we're active in a disease. But that disease can be arrested if we follow a simple program. And number one rule is we don't pick up. We don't use no matter what. So long as you don't use, you can't get high, and your disease can't take you out. Like, I know I'm overly simplifying it because there's a lot of other factors, but that's what we have the steps for. That's what we have a program for. That's what we have a recovery network for. Work your program. Be a part of your network. Work your steps. Find a sponsor. Like, these are all things I almost smile hearing myself say today because it's so important to me. Like, there were things I balked and bickered with when I failed. Follow your program, guys. Don't fight it. Don't try and rewrite it. Don't try to outsmart it. Surrender. There's a reason we do these things in orders, guys, because they work. They're amazing. They'll give you a life second to none if you stick around long enough. Catch the bug, guys. Live your recovery. It is a journey. It is a lifestyle. It is not a destination, but it's also the best thing that ever happened to me. It's what has given me an opportunity to not only succeed, to be comfortable, to have opportunities, but to love myself, to look in the mirror and be proud of who I am. It's taught me the value of follow through. So now here I am, going to the gym consistently for over a year, and I'm setting records, personal records, not beating Guinness Book of World Records, but setting personal bests that I never dreamed I'd hit. The same with my business. I have a legit, actual, legal, proper business that I'm proud of. It's hard as hell. It's stressful as hell. It demands a lot from me. But at the end of the day, it's my name on the invoices, my name on the door, it's my name on the accounts. And it's my name that's going to be on the deed to the house I'm about to be able to buy because I show up and do this every day. The rewards don't come overnight, but they compound because you work for them long term. It's beautiful, guys. Give yourself the program. Give yourself a shot. I don't know a single person that's ever come into a meeting and said, oh, I was so much happier killing myself in addiction. Right? Life gets better. We get better. We recover. One day at a time. Guys, that's the video for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.